Hey beautiful beings, I'm coming to you from the car today and I have a little bit of a cold, which I'm actually going to talk about, so I apologize if I'm a little nasally, but I wanted to come on and chat with you a little bit about what's going on right now and talk a little bit about how to get in the flow of Pisces season and how to navigate kind of the energies that are, I think, ramping up as we move towards March and April and we get into eclipse season and we get back into more go energy here on the planet. So I have a little bit of a head cold that I'm getting over, and I always pay attention when I have something like this going on to what I'm noticing in others around me, even people that I haven't seen in a while that are in my community. And a lot of people are struggling with a little bit of a head cold right now. And mine came on very quickly, and it coincided with the massive kind of double solar flare that we had last week on, I think that was on Tuesday. And that kind of gave me a little bit of a pause of, okay, we're clearly releasing some density as new light is coming in. And I wanted to chat a little bit about that whole process with you all today, because I feel like there's a lot of discussion on ascension symptoms, but there's not really a discussion on why that's happening when we have solar flares and those kinds of things. But before I get into that, I just want to mention we are in Pisces season. I can tell by my dream space. I think I had 15 dreams last night. I don't know, something crazy like that. And they were all over the place. And that's my Pisces season. It also affects how I channel and the things that I'm connected to and bringing in, and the energies. It expands that above space for me. And so it's always an interesting time when I'm doing my work and Pisces season rolls around. But Pisces season is also about teaching us to be in the flow so that we can flow with our emotions, we can flow with what is, we can flow with what's happening in the universe, we can just flow. And I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, because if you're in a place of resistance, you're going to be in opposition to that flowing energy, and you're going to be in opposition to the Pisces season that we're in, that's inviting us to find that watery flow, and then you're going to get all hung up. And I've been thinking a lot about this because I'm doing a women's mini retreat on Saturday, the Fully Empowered Woman. We still have some spots left if you'd like to join us up in China Grove. And we're going to be working with our very watery sacral chakra and the clearing of that energy center and clearing disempowering cords and doing a whole ceremony around that. And one of the metaphors that I always bring in about the sacral chakra is that it should be flowing like a river. And our emotional body lives inside of our sacral chakra. And if our sacral chakra isn't flowing, then we have a lack of emotional flow. And if we have a lack of emotional flow of our own emotions, then oftentimes what happens is that we actually start to run as empaths the emotions of others and own their energy and emotions as our own. And that may sound weird, of like, why would I choose to run somebody else's emotional energy instead of my own? It's a lot less personal, right? It's a lot less overwhelming for your system to run somebody else's emotions, in theory, because you don't have to process your own stuff. So that can be a trap that we get into in Pisces season as empaths, is that we stop running our own feelings and we start feeling everybody else's stuff and what's going on in the collective, and we're not taking responsibility for ourselves. So just keep that in mind, right? And if you want some help with that and you want to be more empowered in that energy center and you're in a female body in this lifetime, then you're welcome to join us on Saturday. We still have some spots left. I'll put the link below this video. But let's talk a little bit about ascension symptoms and the sun and solar flares and all that stuff, because I think there's a lot of misinformation out about solar flares. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that are making people believe that we're going to experience some kind of solar flash event, and that it's going to knock out communications, and it's going to knock out the power grid, and it's going to do all these things. And I'm not denying that there might not be some hiccups. We did see some hiccups with the cellular network this week with AT&T when we had these solar flares, although they're not linking that together, but I suspect it might have something to do with. And I do think it's good to be somewhat prepared for those things, but you don't need to be in fear and freak out. when I tune into the energy of a solar flash event, what I often find is that people are basically tuning into a timeline that we've experienced before on this planet or on another planet, where there was some kind of explosion of a star, death of a star that wiped out a whole collective or a whole planet. And that has definitely happened. If you just know anything about our our cosmic universe, you know that stars explode and die and all those things all the time. But as we're having solar flares, what I want you to understand about the sun, because the sun is so old, just like the earth is so old, and it is a star, it is made of light, right? It is a light repository. Think of it like a giant cosmic library that contains all of the information and data of our little galaxy and our little universe. Think of it like that. And so when there's a solar flare, and it's a massive one, I don't remember the size that we had last week, but we had two, and everybody was talking about how big they were, and the pictures were being put around of what it looked like. There's an eruption of light, right, and plasma and all the things in the sun, but on an energetic level, there is a download, a packet of information that comes inside of that light when it finally makes it to the earth. And this is an extremely high vibration, a whole lot of data. And if you think of yourselves like a computer or a bit of technology, and you are receiving an update and your computer hasn't been defragged and you're not ready for that update, it can overwhelm the system and shut the system down. And so that's what I see happen when we have these solar flare events, is that they come on and they impact different collectives because it contains different bits of information. And what I'm noticing is that the soul group or collective that I seem to be a part of is really getting impacted by this one. And we've all got like a little head cold, or like some kind of physical thing that we're clearing, or some kind of big emotional thing that we're working through, or both if we're really lucky. And so that's the mechanics of what's going on when we have these ascension symptoms. And yeah, obviously there are such things as colds and viruses and all of that, but I always pay attention when the timing aligns with some kind of bigger event, and wonder if maybe we weren't already trying to hold our immune system and battle some things off, and then when the light comes on the planet, it overwhelms our system, and then the things that we're battling come to the surface to be cleared. And I think that's both on a physical and a metaphysical level, meaning the internal demons that you're battling, the negative self-talk, the things that you're struggling with, those kinds of things surface as well and need to be dealt with. So if you're not having a physical clearing in your sinuses, like I seem to be, you might be having some sort of other clearing right now. And these are good things, right? This is a natural, intelligent way for our universe to be operating, where we're moving through these belts of light, these beams of light, if you will, and we're getting the information that we need so that we can continue through our ascension process. We are moving into a different dimensional frequency, like little by little, every day we are doing it. It is preordained because we move through these cycles on this planet, and we're in a cycle where we're moving closer to source. We're moving in that direction. Now, how long it takes us to get there and how difficult the process is and all of that good stuff is up to us as a collective, right, of how we navigate this. And so tying it back to Pisces season and being in the flow of what is. Can you trust that whatever's happening is what's meant to be happening? Can you trust that the universe is benevolent, that you are fully supported at all times, and that nothing has gone wrong, and that everything is okay, even when you have a head cold? Last week when it came on, I was like, oh my God, I have all these Zoom sessions. Luckily I didn't have anybody in person. I have a class to teach. I have these events coming up. What's going to happen? And then I just cut that off and I said, okay, no, I need to do whatever I can to support my body. And so I took the weekend off, and I've got some time today to continue to rest. And I'm going to just keep doing all the things that I know to do to support my body, because my body has a consciousness and it can absolutely navigate this shift. I just have to give it all of the right pieces and parts, right? All the right things, all the right supplements, all the right rest, all the right connection time with myself, right? All the right things that I need to do to keep my vibration high so that I can move through this in a way that is a beneficial experience for me. Not that everything isn't beneficial, but a more enjoyable experience, I guess I should say. So that's a little bit about what's going on. At the same time, I do see that we are going through a root and sacral chakra clearing. And so we may be experiencing this up in the head, but I'm noticing that we're clearing quite a lot of energy in those lower chakras as well. I won't get into all of that because it's just a whole bunch of icky polarity stuff that I see as dismantling, that honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I give voice to it, and I don't want to talk about it. So just know that we are separating from some very disempowering energies as we move through into these higher frequencies, and that is just by design. And so we're going to continue to see certain things getting triggered in the collective where people are continuing to show us that polarity and that division that we're moving out of, and that's just part of the process. So do all the things, take good care of yourselves, really try to be in the flow of what is, try to honor this Pisces season that we're in, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your week. And it's so good to hear from you all, so comment and let me know what's going on with you and how you're experiencing these energies. And I hope to see some of you on Saturday at our event at the Fully Empowered Woman mini retreat. All right, have a great day. Bye everyone.